Hi, very good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all. So in our first video for Informatica tutorials, basically, so I'll be covering the table-to-table load with the help of Informatica PowerCenter. So I'll show you exactly how to create this mapping, which I already developed, how to connect to repository, how to create a workflow, create a session, and then monitor your job if any failure is there. So here I have already loaded the employee data into the target. So our target is Oracle. I'll show you that as well. So this is our target Oracle database. So here I have two different schemas. One is core and one is HR. So we can consider HR is our source from which we are going to read the data. So basically in HR, we have this table called as employees, which is a common table across all the scenarios. Okay. So let me just query that table for you. Star from employees, use semicolon, hit control enter. It will show you the data. So we have around 107 records. How to get the count? How many records are there? So select count of 1 from employees. Table name will come. You just have to hit the control enter again. So if you see, there are 107 records, okay, in our source table. So I'm keeping core schema as a target. Okay, so already I had created a few tables to test our scenario in Informatica. So basically, let us create a new table here in the core schema. If you want to create any empty table out of the table which is already exists in the database, so this is the query: create table name as select star from the source table name where 1 equal to 2. So 1 equal to 2 means you have to provide a false condition so that there is no data. So why we need this table? Because we want the data to be loaded from the table which is already present under the HR schema, which is employees. Okay. So let us create one table EMP. Okay. So here we have to provide the source. So it has to be EMP underscore TGT. This is the target we are going to create. Okay. So let me run this query. So it says table is created. So we can just check whether there is any data. It has to be empty basically. EMP-TGT, let's copy paste it or run the query. Okay, if you see here, there are no records in this table. So we'll be referencing employees as a source, EMP-TGT as a target, but through Informatica. Okay, so let's go to the Informatica now. So in Informatica, basically, these are the four main components: repository manager, PowerCenter Designer, workflow manager, and workflow monitor. Fine. So what basically we have to do after installing the Informatica PowerCenter on your system, you can go and create a folder here. Okay, so I've created a folder name as a training. So this rep is nothing but a repository. Okay. Then once you log into the repository and connect to the folder, it will start showing you this kind of empty workspace over here. So these are the many folders available: source, targets, and mappings, where basically we are going to deal with. So how I imported the source definition, I'll just show you. So these are the few other components inside the mapping designer. Source analyzer to import the source tables. target designer to import the targets. Transformation developer and maplet, just forget about this at the moment. We'll see when we come to those videos. And this is the mapping designer. Okay, I'll just show you how to import the tables. So how I imported this table is basically, so go to the sources, then import from database, enter the credentials here, HR, okay. Then under HR, just click expand the table folder. You will be able to import the employees. Once you click on it, you can either search here or in real-time projects, you will see a lot of tables, okay, hundreds, even thousands. So that time it's not possible to scroll and then go and select the particular for it. It's time consuming basically. So you can directly search over here, okay. Then click on OK. So your table get will imported. So what this is suggesting basically, we have a primary key and the foreign key relationship, okay, in the table itself. That's why the arrow is being shown, right? So this is how you can import the source. Similar way you can, once you click on the target designer in the, at the top, you will see the target option, okay? So import from database. Now core is our target. So I'll say connect tables. Okay, we have created this table, okay, EMP underscore TGT. So I'll click on OK. Fine, so our tables are imported. If you want to clear this canvas, then right click and clear all, okay. If you again want to bring back that target, then go to targets and then just drag and drop here. So EMP underscore TGT, you will be able to see. Now go to the mappings, okay. Go to the mappings menu, then say create, give some name. So as a standard practice, every mapping should have the name starting with M. So M underscore load underscore EMP, okay. Since we are loading the data, so I given load and then followed by EMP, that is our target table. Click on OK. Now this is empty. So we have to bring our sources and targets over here and make the mapping. So go to the source, drag it in the mapping canvas. Okay, once you drag it, you will see there is one more yellow colored box is there. This is the source definition. This is the source qualifier in Informatica. Okay. Then go to targets and drag the target which we have created, EMP underscore TGT. Fine. Now we have to create the link. So either we can link one by one, employee ID, then bring first name, or what we can do, just select, press delete, right click here, select all, and then drag all. Here it's basically easy because all the names are matching. But in cases where when we create the output ports, names get changed, and here we have to match them, then in that case, we'll cover in upcoming videos how to do that. Okay. After creating this mapping, just go to mappings and then say validate. So you'll see the message mapping mload EMP is valid. Okay. Then do Control S, mapping is inserted. It means it is saved. Now go to the workflow manager. Click on this icon here. Go to the workflow manager. Then there is a session. So we call it as a session in Informatica. Task is nothing but a session. Fine. Then go to task. Then say create. We'll give some name S underscore M S underscore load underscore EMP. This is a task we are going to create. So it will ask us which mapping to select because of the mapping which we have already created in the designer. So we have created this M underscore load underscore EMP. Okay, click on OK. Done. Okay. Then go to the workflow designer and create, give some name to the workflow, WF workflow underscore load underscore emp. So what is basically workflow? To run the session, we need a workflow. Okay. If you see session is already created here, but to bring this session here and then we have to run the workflow. Okay. To run any task, the parent task is going to be workflow. So in the task developer, if you see, we already developed one session, but we have not provided any connections over there. Okay. So go there and provide connections. In the mappings tab, select SQ underscore employee, which is nothing but our source employees. This is a source connection, Oracle underscore source, okay, which we are going to use. But target is not the source connection. We have already created one target, Oracle underscore target, okay. I'll show you how we have created. If you see, the target connection is core, okay. Similarly, the source connection is HR, okay, from where we are reading the data, and this is how we are writing. Click on OK. You can say normal mode. So these are the target load type, basically bulk versus normal. Okay, we will understand in more detail when we have the sessions regarding this. Then here we can specify the target table name, emp underscore tgt. Let me just confirm the target name. Yeah, it's correct only. So we'll be reading from employee source and writing into employee target, okay, which is the target table name. If you want, you can specify the table name prefix. In our case, it is 4. Okay. Then click on apply. Okay. Control S. Workflow. It is showing workflow is invalid. Okay. Because we haven't brought any sessions into the workflow. Then select the session. Bring it into the canvas. Then there is a link over here. We have to provide the link from task. Start task to the session task. Then Control S again. So workflow is valid. And how to run the workflow? Okay, for that you just need to right click over here and then say start workflow. So starting execution of the workflow. So when workflows gets executed, you can go to the fourth component, that is workflow monitor. Fine. So once you go to the workflow monitor, you'll able to see the workflow run for that particular session. Okay. So right click on that session, get run properties. You will be able to see it has run on the node 1. Applied rows are 107, affected it 107, and throughput is 107 rows per second. Okay. So to read one row, it took 1 second, and to write one row, it took 1 second. Okay. There are no rejections here. Applied means it has applied. It has applied to insert 107 rows, and affected are also 107. If there are some rejections, so definitely we'll see the rejection count here. Suppose out of 107, one row got rejected. So we will see the count over here. Okay, unless there is some filter in the mapping or something. So we'll come to that in the later part of the video. Okay. Here we are able to see the data has got loaded. Let's just go to the SQL developer and see. So earlier when we queried this table, there was no data. Now let's see if we are able to get the data. Yeah, we're able to get the data. So in the upcoming videos, we'll go through some logic, how to implement that logic in PowerCenter Designer, how to load the data, what are the different properties of the source level, target level. Maybe we'll go through some scenarios. Those are being asked in interviews. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye. Take care.